Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at the Cable Forum, and this does actually have spoilers for Beast Morphers Season 2. So I'm going to leave it for a quick second. If you want to kind of check out these spoilers and kind of follow along, then do so. If you're kind of waiting until, like say, much later on until it airs in America. Now, I am going to be doing more reviews on them because these are being released in the UK as well as Australia. So these will be out very, very soon. So I know America's coming back much later on, maybe in August, but it looks like we're going to be getting these episodes really quickly. I think daily over here in the UK. So that's a lot of stuff right there. On this list here, the Cable Forum, link is going to be in the description. This pretty much goes through all the kind of episodes for Beast Morphers. So let's have a look down here. Basically, if we look at 1008, Secret Struggle. Steel learns that Nate and Zoe have feelings. Oh, so we've seen that one. Sorry, we have seen that one. Check out the review. The Evox snare. Grid Battleforce shuts down the Morph X towers to lure Evox into a trap. So I've got a feeling that basically they're going to try and get Evox so they can figure out why he's the mayor and stuff like that. I think that's going to be kind of cool. I kind of think what's very interesting is Evox going to fall for this, or is Evox just going to be kind of like sending the monster of the day? Who knows on that one? Who knows? So I'm kind of interesting. Now, intruder alert. The Rangers receive a strange message from outer space, warning of an impending threat. So this one I actually thought here as well, which one we don't have a name for it, but the Rangers do everything they can do to help their new ally return home. I generally thought that was the team up, like, you know, the start of the team up, but this one is actually the whole thing for Space Gavin, or Space Sheriff Gavin, which, if you know who he is, he was basically it's another like Metal Heroes, and it's very, very popular in Japan. We also saw it kind of in Gokaiger and a few other episodes, but this one is actually going to be the second time that I think this is the second time that we've had a non-Power Ranger type of character. I know we had, I think it was Jiraiya, who was in Ninja Steel. So in this one, we actually have Space Sheriff Gavin, which I'm very looking forward to seeing how they're going to handle, and maybe it could lead into something a lot more. So these two here, 1010 and 1011, those there are actually linked. And even though I'm kind of okay with this, I'm really looking forward to it. I generally thought right here is, you think this one here with the Dino team up, that would be a two-parter rather than Gavin? Like, you could have like these, this one as a second one, get rid of like the Halloween or the Christmas episode, or literally add one more episode in to kind of push the boundaries. Or you could literally get rid of one of the other ones, which we'll kind of look through. But I generally thought that when you've got these two together, you'd have at least 2 episodes here. So I wonder why they're doing that one compared to, say, doing something else. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so hasty decision by Zoe puts an old friend in danger. Now, it's not Megan. It's definitely not Megan. So this is going to be kind of like we meet more of Zoe's kind of past. So, you know, I'm wondering what happens. Maybe she turns around and she morphs, or she like chooses a different path, which obviously changes it. Or maybe she doesn't meet up because this friend that she's got, like, you know, isn't a great friend anymore, or something like that. You know, it'll be something that Zoe will hate herself, and this is like a changing moment episode for Zoe, where she will realize that something that she has to change, and then we'll see it happen. It will stick for that episode and then the rest of the season, but we'll never know if like Zoe goes back to the old ways or anything. Okay, so this is the main one. This is 1013. In an epic battle, the Beast Morphers team up with the Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Mighty Morphing Power Rangers to defeat the newest member of Evox's team. Now, I've got an inkling that I think that what will happen is Goldar's remains will come, or like we'll see a quick thing where one bad guy's been to the moon and scooped up some of the dust from like the moon that's just been there for years and years and no one cares, and then they recreate Goldar, or they have some DNA from a sword, or they find, I don't know, they find like something of Goldar to kind of bring it back and be like, boom, there we go, there's Goldar. But yeah, so this is the one episode which I think is either going to make or break the series. I think that maybe this should have been near the very end of the season, just to kind of like end it off on a hype. So I'm really kind of like looking forward to this. Like we've seen it again. I really wish this was a two-parter. I think this deserved to be a two-parter. I mean, literally, Nate and Steele accidentally swapped bodies. You could have got rid of that episode and had a two-parter. So I'm very looking forward to this episode. I can't wait. So number 14, Nate is reunited with his do-gooder parents who offer him a compelling and difficult choice. So this is pretty much, it tells you everything in this one episode. Nate, come home and we'll give you what you want, or you stay here and we cut you off and you're not, you can never come back to the family or something like that. Or it will be, Nate, we've finally done this. We've got everything you wanted. This is the one thing that you've always wanted from us. So you come with us and give up your life as a ranger, and then you can have all of this. And then obviously this is when like Nate has to choose. But we all know what will happen. It'll get to the end of the episode and be like, Mom, Dad, like, I really appreciate that you've done all of this for me, but I can't give up being a ranger. I love it too much, and I can't let my friends down, and I can't let Zoe down. And that will be the main thing at the very end. And they'll be like, don't worry, son. There'll always be a place for you here. We'll keep this open until you can return. And be like, oh, thanks, Mom and Dad. Like, thanks for doing just narrating what could possibly be at the end. So I basically, that will be like literally just a choice for Nate, and he'll choose the Rangers over his family. Okay, so 1015, Ravi and Roxy's anniversary hits a major snag when a misunderstanding gets out of control. So I think what will happen is that Robo Roxy will disguise herself as Roxy and then kind of like do something that really goes like crazy, and then kind of makes like the original Roxy go like, Ravi, how could you do this? You'd be like, I didn't know it was her. I thought it was you, or something like that, which we'll normally get. Or he'll say something like, oh, I really like sassy Roxy, and she'll go, what? Or I think what would kind of be really cool is that if she got like consequences from one of the previous episodes where she's like, oops, like, this is the consequence I've got, and Ravi makes a comment and she's like, what? And then just kind of like storms off or something. That would be kind of cool. Okay, so number 1016, Nate and Steele accidentally swap bodies. Now, that's fine. I think what will happen is Steele will go, oh my God, I know what it's like to be a human boy now, a human man. Oh my God, what? And then Nate will realize that obviously Steele has like this entire like restriction that he doesn't like. So I'm guessing like, because we've not gone to the end down here, I wonder if like he'll make him human at the end of the series or something, which would be kind of cool if he did. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. So we've got, when Zoe accidentally ruins her brother's chances for a scholarship, she'll do anything to make it right. So again, it's interesting to see how they make like kind of a blame. I would be kind of interested to see if Zoe, from this episode where Zoe put her friend in danger or something, that Zoe hasn't actually learnt the lesson, or she doesn't really kind of know. So that would be very interesting. But I think that's just going to be kind of like a filler episode. So 1018, Devon falls victim to bad influence, which affects his relationship with Cruz. So I think this will probably be maybe a video game thing again. Or the fact is that, I mean, we've already had the bad influence, which was from the Fury cells. So I think this would be kind of interesting if Cruz is like, oh my God, it's just like the Fury cell thing. And he's like, oh no, and then goes back to being normal. So this one, I'm kind of interested to see what happened. But maybe it's the fact that Cruz has something, and Devin's like, no, I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to stick with this. Again, I think like some of these episodes could have been replaced and had a second dino charge and like team up and stuff like that. 1019, Nate makes horrifying discovery and must rely on his wisdom of an ally to help him work through it. Now, an ally, so this one is very interesting because maybe this could be Dr. K, because Dr. K has mentioned it and this, yep, okay. So yeah, we've not got like the Dr. K episode. So I've got a feeling that this is the Dr. K episode 1019, where he contacts Dr. K, or she's already in the episode a bit and she comes in and they've got to kind of make something to kind of help through it. That I'm guessing, I hope I'm right because I'm getting excited. So maybe the fact is that Nate figures out what is Evox and where he came from or how he was made, and then obviously he's contacted Dr. K. Or the fact is that we find out that Evox actually isn't from this one, he's from the RPM universe, and it's actually not Veltrax. Oh god, what's his name? Put it in the comments if you know. Venjax, I think it is. To God. So Venjax. However you want to say it. So maybe that's the one there. So I've got a feeling that's the Dr. K episode. So 20, Evox finally executes his master plan, and the Rangers must do everything they can to stop him, even potentially sacrificing one of their own. I'm guessing that will be Steel. I reckon it'll get to the point where Evox is doing something and Steele's learnt from being inside Nate's body how important human life is. So he says like, oh, you can definitely rebuild me, you can bring me back, you can do everything for this, let me sacrifice myself. And it'll get to the point where they're about to do it and something will happen. Either more Rangers will jump in, or you'll have someone like Gavin come back very briefly and kind of like help out. It will be something along those lines, but I'm guaranteeing I would say at least 95% of me would be on this episode is that it's Steel that's going to sacrifice himself. If I had to take a guess, I think maybe Devin will say like, you know, I'm the leader, I'm going to take this, or it could be someone completely different. But no, I think it's going to be Steel. Okay, so boxed in. We've already reviewed. This one I'm very kind of like, this one I was very weirded out, how do I say, for this was exactly like ready to be edited when they could have released any of these other episodes. So I don't know if we're going to get this one because it's already aired, or if they're going to just rerun it in the exact same order. But it says the Pan Global Games have arrived in Coral Harbor, but the Rangers' duties prevents the team's thing. Well, if this one here is exactly the one after, then this entire episode of them sacrificing, so literally they won't be sacrificing anyone because we've seen Steel in this episode. So I think like nothing will happen, or they've rebuilt Steel. That was my thing. So they potentially sacrifice Steel. Steel then gets rebuilt and all his memories, and everyone just kind of like doesn't acknowledge it. Okay, and then the last one here. Evox decides to add a new villain to his team and commands his minions to find the evilest villain of all time. See, this one here, like, you know, it'll probably be like, who could be it? Is it going to be going through all the past ones? Because there's been some really cracking villains. You know, could you bring back Goldar? Could you bring back Rita? Astrometer? Who, you know, all these characters that you could go through. I would laugh if it's Vinjax. That's it. But this episode would literally be better being up here before this one. You know, can you imagine if it goes like, Evox decides to add a new villain to his team and commands his minions to find the evilest villain of all time, and then it goes in and an epic battle, the Beast Morphers team up with the Dino Charge, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to defeat the newest member of Evox's team. Yeah, it feels like that episode 1022 should be here. So literally that should be, it should all be moved up, or that should be after this episode. I don't know why they've not done it like that. That's something that just doesn't make sense to me. I just generally think that one should be there. Like they're not even out and I'm getting annoyed. Like this would be perfect. Like, that's how you link in a two-parter when it's not technically a two-parter. Because, like, can you imagine in this one, Evox then says to Roxy and Blaze, like, go out, find it. They find Goldar's sword. They find, like, some part of the dust that's part of Goldar. They bring it back in. They make a robot version of him, or they re-energize his DNA with Morpher X. And then Goldar comes back. Boom! It's like, oh my god, this is completely different. And then, you know, Goldar goes out. You see Jason training in a forest, you see him training somewhere, and then Goldar captures him. You have the monster of the day, and then when the Rangers run down, you see that epic thing where you've got MMPR Red or Jew Ranger Red walking with Neo, I think it's like Neo Goldar in the Sentai, and then it's like, oh my god, Jason, and then you have like Devon attacks Jason. They fight for a little bit like in the film, and then they get teleported out. Jason, the control over Jason, because he demorphs, and that cancels out that power. And then boom, you know, it leads into this one where the Dino Charge Rangers like come out of the portal. They fight all the minions, the putties, the whatever the rest are, and then they all go to town, and then they lead up to the last battle where Jason and all the rest of MMPR comes out. Then you have the rest. Oh, I really wish you could see my face as I'm doing this. And then you have the rest of the team, and then it ends with an epic battle. That is how you do the episode properly. And then you end it at the part where the Pan Global Games are moved up as well. So you have these last two episodes. They destroy Evox with all the Dino Rangers. Boom! And there we go, all done. And then you spend the next like 10 minutes wrapping little things up. Nate and Zoe go on a date. Oh my god, I am writing this for them. Dear God. Oh, this would be so cool. That would be the coolest thing out there. That's how I would do it. So yeah, that's what I would do. That's how I would do it. Oh, God darn it. So I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think about all this sort of these episodes and the names coming out? Do you think that actually what I've said would be the best way to introduce Power Rangers to those two episodes? Let me know down below in those comments. I would so love it if that was the story. That would be absolutely amazing. Like, do you think that would be a really good way of having the two episodes, the evilest villain of all time, and then adding it up to here, the epic battle? So yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like this sort of video and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.